Welcome to this presentation on project management using Enterprise Architect and the Sparks modeling platform. You will learn about some of the tools and facilities available to project and product managers to create and manage all types of models, from strategy, specifications, risks, resources, Gantt charts, and more. You develop and review the models collaboratively, and you can share them with customers and a range of other disciplines from executives, strategists, managers, architects, analysts, developers, testers, and more. In this presentation, we will cover the following topics: manage change and ensure quality outcomes, manage and control project tasks, issues and risks, view stories, glossaries, gaps, reports, and techniques, visualize the enterprise with dashboards and diagrams, communicate and integrate with Model Exchange. Manage change and ensure quality outcomes. In this topic, you will learn how to manage all aspects of a project, from features to issues and defects, and control quality with audits and checklists. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including keep track of issues, defects, changes, and more. Manage backlogs and workflow with Kanban. Discover what has changed with baselines. Manage change with audits and quality checks. And more. Use the easy-to-access ribbon panels to view windows and facilities directly related to change, resources, and project management, including issues, defects, Kanban, resources, Gantt charts, decisions, events, risks, and more. The items are all available from the Construct ribbon as a welcome set of facilities for the project and product managers. Perform a SWOT analysis and represent the results diagrammatically, identifying strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats clearly and concisely. Create diagrams for different contexts or divisions of a business or technical environment, and use colors and styles, and layout options to make the SWOT diagrams more appealing. Add rich metadata to the elements that will help analyze weaknesses and minimize threats, and provide drill downs to how you will achieve this in practice. Discover what's changed in your model using the powerful comparison feature of the baseline utility. Create any number of baselines for any model package, and then as your model evolves, compare it to one or more baselines of the same package. Revert each change or an entire package to the content in the baseline, and set options to suppress changes such as diagram and date changes. Use the feature for requirements, user stories, use cases, or any other package of model elements and diagrams. Keep track of high-priority requirements, or those with particular statuses, by viewing them in a spreadsheet view using the Specification Manager. Change the priority or other metadata directly in the sheet or a list, or the Properties window. Ensure projects are delivering value to stakeholders by implementing the high-priority requirements. Avoid scope creep or gaps, with features or requirements defined as either in scope or out of scope. Use the diagram boundary and packages in the browser to quickly present an element's scope, helping to prevent budget and time overruns, and fostering positive project outcomes. See how your requirements stack up, by applying a checklist to individual requirements or packages of requirements. Extend the checklist to other elements such as stories, use cases, and business rules, to ensure rigor and standardization. Use a checklist pattern of predefined quality characteristics, or define your organization, project, or team qualities for each element type. Managing changing requirements is critical to the success of any project or endeavor. Using Enterprise Architect, you can document changes to requirements and other elements by creating change records that define the nature of the change, the person who requested the change, its status and priority, and a range of other attributes. This information is critical when creating and evaluating test cases and stakeholder satisfaction. Keep track of who changed what and when by enabling auditing for the repository. Use the Settings window to specify the auditing level and to adjust the amount of information you want to record. Also, define the elements you want to include in the audit. You can enable auditing at different times, such as when consultants or external parties are working on the repository or at particular phases of your project. Manage and control project tasks, issues, and risks. In this topic, you will learn how to use Kanban and resource allocations with self-organizing teams and create traceable models of risk and issues. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including: use Kanban to triage backlogs and increase efficiency. Manage people and tasks with resource allocation. Understand model connections and traceability. Model and manage risks with purpose-built tools. And more. Manage requirements, user stories, use cases, and more, with agile Kanban diagrams to increase speed to market, and customer value. As a product owner, triage and manage backlogs and effortlessly move items between lanes and boards. Your whole team can work productively by choosing items from the board and recording their progress on an item. You can use pre-configured boards using patterns, or define your project or personal boards and lanes, including colors, work-in-progress limits, and which properties to display. Allocate resources to elements and set data such as start and end times, estimated, allocated and expended time, and the percentage of the task complete. Visualize these allocations on Kanban boards where paradoxically, the number of items in progress is best limited, resulting in greater efficiency and more finished items. The reduced number of in-progress items allows team members to concentrate on one thing at a time without having to switch focus. Keep track of project tasks and ensure successful outcomes by viewing their progress from definition to completion. Make yourself the task owner and assign a resource or team responsible for the task's completion, specifying the required total time. Record the actual time, including start and finish times, and allow the assigned resource to record the percentage complete and actual time required. You can view this and other tasks in the project calendar, making it easy to keep track of daily and weekly tasks without leaving the tool. Stay on top of requirement issues, by defining and viewing a list of concerns with requirements or other elements. Avoid problems with implementation, testing, or production, by analyzing and cataloging requirement issues. These issues can relate to semantics, ambiguity, structure, omissions, inclusions, and more, and their early definition and resolution with help ensure successful project outcomes. Automatically color code requirement statuses to clearly show a requirement's position in your project lifecycle. Immediately identify the status of a requirement on a diagram and easily visualize requirements with the same status, such as those that are validated but not yet implemented. Create user-defined status codes and set their colors based on business or technical processes and workflows. Never lose track of element connectivity with the traceability window, and view a graph of model connections from a context or reference element. Set options to restrict which relationships to display, and locate related elements in the browser or diagrams, and instantly view their properties. Use this view in conjunction with other windows, like matrices, and model views to gain a comprehensive understanding of how requirements relate to both business and technology elements, ensuring there is no scope creep or unintended gaps in your design. Express your organization's policies by defining business rules that express their application and how they manifest at a business operation level. Use Enterprise Architect's powerful tracing ability, and show how business rules relate to policies using tools like diagramming, matrices, traceability, and reports. Control project risks by defining risks for critical elements such as components or work packages. You can specify risks associated with any element or package of elements and include its type, weighting or significance, and a detailed description, including documents and links to other resources. You can also view the risks in the project node of the inspector window. Model project risks and link them to elements in diagrams to visually show how they relate to these elements. Use the InfoView style to display critical risk metadata such as the risk category, consequences, impact, likelihood, triggers, and more. View these relationships in other windows such as the traceability window and the matrix and present them on web page models using WebEA and Prolaborate, allowing others to review and update the metadata. Manage business and technical risks using a standards-based risk taxonomy that allowing you to visualize threats, loss types and magnitude, contact frequency, and more. Clearly define the risk scenario and the threat community to ensure you have captured the context of the risk and to who it applies. Connect the risk elements to other modeling artifacts such as requirements, user stories, components, interfaces, and more. View stories, glossaries, gaps, reports, and techniques. In this topic, you will learn how to create user stories, view gaps with matrices, view charts and graphs, and be guided by the BAB-BOK. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including create rich and expressive epics and user stories, view element connectivity and find gaps, document ideas, knowledge, and meaning in models, use the BAB-BOK as a modeling guide, and more. Create epics and user stories to record the user's goals and expectations, and then add rich metadata like constraints, tags, and project information such as tasks and tests, as you analyze and implement the story. Alternatively, use the Pro Cloud Server integration to pull in epics, stories, and issues from tools like Jira, and link the items to rich modeled content including database tables, application components, and information models. Put meaning at your fingertips with the powerful glossary tools that ensure teams are on the same page and have the same mental model of terms and definitions. Readers will see the meaning of industry, project, or team terms as rollovers in diagram, element or connector notes and other model-based project documentation. Create categories of terms based on disciplines, semantic fields, source, and more. Turn any project element into a glossary term by adding it to a glossary diagram. You can also include the glossary items and their meanings in a corporate publication or web page. Understand connectivity and gaps in your models by using matrices to visualize the relationship between source and target elements or features. Locate scope creep, gaps, and unimplemented requirements by viewing the colored matrix bands. Visualize any element's connections, including drivers, goals, user stories, use cases, test cases, risks, and more. Include the matrix in web pages and publications as an alternative view for non-technical stakeholders, or export it to a spreadsheet or save it for future reference. Find and manage the gaps between baseline and transition or target architectures, and use these to assess the size of the transition or change. Use Enterprise Architects gap matrices to visualize missing, eliminated, or new items between any two architectures. Use architecture or solution building blocks in the matrix, to understand the change from an abstract or solution viewpoint, and include these in web views or publications generated directly from the model. Record focus group questions and answers in a mind map in physical or virtual workshops, allowing stakeholders to visualize their ideas and concerns in a business-friendly diagram. Follow up the focus group or workshop, analyze the results and connect the derived requirements, needs, and concerns to the statements recorded in the mind map. As the specification and solution evolve, trace from any design or implementation element, via the requirements, back to the original stakeholder statements, ensuring that what you implement will delight your stakeholders. Visualize a range of repository information such as element statuses, team tasks, a heat map of application costs, critical components by deployment type and vendor, and more, in compelling charts and graphs viewable on dashboard diagrams. Use the diagrams to drive repository administration and modeling tasks, and include them in reports and publications. You can also set display options including legends and colors to make the charts more appealing and meaningful. Be guided by the business analysis body of knowledge and its encapsulated insights, integrated inside Enterprise Architect. Use a full suite of pattern modeling solutions that implement the BAB-BOK techniques, allowing you to concentrate on your business problems and their analysis. Use this companion to the BAB-BOK to ensure you are not only following best practice, but enshrining it in your models, and delivering your stakeholders clear and concise representations of the business. Know the correct business analysis technique to use with any task or knowledge area by viewing clear diagrams that show the task itself, the suggested techniques, inputs and outputs, the elements, guidelines and tools, and affected stakeholders. Get off to a flying start, and create industry best practice models by using the Model Pattern Wizard to inject fully worked technique models into your repository, and view the accompanying documentation to learn how to apply the pattern, what tools to use, and see the next steps. Ensure you start, and stay on track with reviews, getting feedback from customers, consultants, and colleagues. You can conduct the reviews in the desktop tool, or if your models are served by the Pro Cloud server, you can review them in a web browser using WebEA. Take your modeling to the next level and ensure you evaluate your models for quality, compliance, risk mitigation, consistency, and more. Visualize stakeholders and the enterprise with dashboards and diagrams. In this topic, you will see the enterprise and its stakeholders in compelling and straightforward charts such as sunburst and bubble charts with drill down. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including understand stakeholders and their relationships, get real-time views of enterprise information, create tailored stakeholder dashboards and diagrams, drill down from dashboards to underlying properties, and more. Model an organization's who's who and display the roles or business units in a diagram using a tree layout or a list view. Add system or user-defined properties to the elements or connectors to add additional information as required. Use the elements that make up the organizational chart in other parts of your repository, including assigning business owners to business processes, business rules, systems, and more. Show the different people who occupy the roles over time, using instances of the classes. Understand your project and enterprise stakeholders by creating expressive maps of the significant stakeholders and their relations. When you clearly define the relationships between stakeholders, you can more easily resolve stakeholder conflicts and ensure better overall outcomes for the entire group of stakeholders. Any project staff can use the maps, reusing them across multiple initiatives. Replace the elements with icons to represent the type of stakeholder, or use avatars or photos for each stakeholder. Know who's who in your stakeholder community, both inside and outside your organization. Visualize the stakeholders in organizational units to help understand their influence and needs. Use stakeholder names qualified by roles to ensure you know the person to speak to about project or enterprise concerns. Careful management of stakeholders will result in positive business and project outcomes and reduce the amount of time spent in meetings and workshops. Achieve success by understanding your stakeholders and delighting them with value-based products and services. Document and visualize stakeholder characteristics, attributes, and concerns, and use these to provide a context for private interviews, workshops, and meetings, and to assist in resolving stakeholder conflicts. Change your project role at the drop of a hat, by selecting a perspective, and watch Enterprise Architect set your focus on the chosen discipline by hiding other tool options. Choosing a perspective will increase your productivity as you concentrate on modeling using the tools and options available for your selected role. Create tailored perspectives by including selected technologies relevant to your modeling intent, or create perspectives for teams and groups, ensuring the entire team stays focused. Keep your diagrams simple with hand-drawn mode, and engage stakeholders to continue contributing to a model's evolution. Toggle between highly resolved diagrams and this sketched mode that gives the appearance you scribbled the details on the back of a serviette. Apply other tools such as filters, layers, and diagram labels and legends to add meaning and appeal. Visualize strategic applications and gain powerful and revealing insights into their strategic importance, complexity, and cost. These expressive diagrams will appeal to business and technical stakeholders who need to manage application portfolios, and ensure they provide a return on investment, and demonstrate demonstrable value to the business. Drill down through multiple dimensions with sunburst charts that allow you to quickly invert dimensions, such as programs, projects, and strategic, tactical, and obsolete application groups. Unlock the wealth of information in the repository, and serve it to corporate stakeholders and executives in compelling and interactive charts. You can change report settings such as colors and styles to align with your organization's conventions. Survey your capability landscape, and create compelling diagrams that model capability hierarchies, and drill down to reveal the underlying metadata associated with each capability. Communicate using highly polished corporate diagrams to appeal to strategic, business, and technical stakeholders, including executives and managers. You can quickly and easily create these diagrams using the custom style or convert existing diagrams to this customized presentation. Instantly switch between these non-technical views and more technical representations of the same underlying model. Create compelling manager-friendly visualizations by setting colors, transparencies, label positions and rotation, and using other styles and options. View a model's evolution and the elements and resources that will contribute to how the model will evolve. Convert any diagram or package to a Gantt view and color the bars to indicate milestones, modelers, and more. Create project, resource, or package-level charts, switch between element and resource views, and gain valuable insights into the allocated resources and model timelines. You can apply filters to curate the views, such as only displaying elements that meet particular criteria, such as a specified version number or having a selected status. Communicate and integrate with Model Exchange. In this topic, you will learn how to collaborate with colleagues and customers, create corporate publications, and exchange content with other tools like Excel and SharePoint. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including view models in real time through a web browser, publish high-quality corporate documents, integrate with more than 30 other tools, exchange data with spreadsheets and documents, and more. Generate high-quality corporate documents directly from the model. Use a range of document generation techniques with flexible system or user-defined templates, filters, and presentation options. Completely customize your publications to comply with industry, corporate, or customer standards, including styles and logos. Add static and dynamic content, and auto-regenerate the document when the model changes. Generate publications in formats such as docx, HTML, PDF, and more. Put architecture in your pocket, and instantly view real-time models in a browser no matter where you are. View the models on a notebook, tablet, or smartphone, and create new requirements, application components, and more, adding notes and other details as required. Collaborate with colleagues, consultants, and customers by entering into discussions, chat, reviews, and viewing each other's model additions and changes, in real time. Collaborate with customers, colleagues, and consultants, and build systems in record time using the collaboration and team features. Enterprise Architect is built from the ground up as a collaboration platform for sharing ideas and working and modeling together. Collaborate with your team and stakeholders no matter where they are located, and chat, discuss, comment, review, and share strategies, architectures, solutions, and visualizations, all in real time. Exchange requirements, capabilities, building blocks, application components, risks, and other elements with spreadsheets using the CSV Exchange utility. Save time and effort by importing existing definitions from spreadsheets, including inbuilt properties such as type, status, and priority, or user-defined properties such as business owner or criticality. Create and reuse your specifications for both import and export of modeling information. Plan the future with dynamic roadmaps, and use them to guide your organization to positive and predictable business and technology outcomes. Generate roadmaps from predefined patterns, or add them as an overlay to any existing diagram of capabilities, applications, work packages, and more. You can see the applications and other elements on a timeline and segment their lifetime into discrete phases, showing you precisely, for example, when an application will change from mainstream production into retirement. Document critical project decisions associated with modeled elements. Include metadata such as the status, author, owner, impact, and effective date of the decision. You can add detailed descriptions and histories of the decision, recording a rich narrative. You can also promote the decision to a separate element and link it to diagram objects, allowing stakeholders to visualize how the decisions apply in context. Apply use case metrics to estimate the resources you will need to complete a sprint, epic, project, or any defined package of work. Use case estimation is a comprehensive project estimation tool used to calculate effort using use cases and actors. You can set the complexity of the work environment using a series of weighted technical and environmental complexity factors. The calculations result in the number of use case points and the estimated time and cost to completion. Use the calendar to schedule and view meetings, milestones, reviews, workshops, and more. You can use it to view the allocation of resources to elements in the repository, such as who is responsible for analyzing a set of requirements. A project or product manager can also use the calendar to view project tasks and conveniently click through to the elements in the browser window or the project tasks. In this presentation, we have covered the following topics: manage change and ensure quality outcomes, manage and control project tasks, issues and risks, view stories, glossaries, gaps, reports, and techniques, visualize the enterprise with dashboards and diagrams, communicate and integrate with Model Exchange.